Hello, welcome back. So, we are going to be doing some more reading from Starlight. Da, 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 da. I guess this is sort of like a celebration first read through edit of getting ready to dig in and do the second round edit of the next poetry book that's coming out. So, here we go. You ready? Let's do it. September is a song. September is a month of overgrown gardens, closing of swimming pools, campfires, and soon to be hot tubs. September is the month of rebirth, of welcoming of the fall, and coaxing of the colors from the leaves. September leaves me warm and settling into its cool fall patterns. September is sleeping with the windows open and sweaters. Unless if you live in Florida now. And it's hot. September is sunsets and rains in the morning. Watching the rain run down the window panes and renew all over her again. September is for mornings. September is a poem. September is a song. Ooh, you wanna sing in love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I did make this into a song. Walk. I caught myself walking in the direction of my old home, my old life. I turned to walk back in the direction of the river of my future, but I couldn't. So now I'm taking the long way home. I'm thankful for GPS tracking so they'll know where I've gone, back to my old life. I'm still trying to catch up to spring this year. Fall has already set in, much earlier than I'm used to. I miss my summer sunshine. I'm always struggling to keep up to her, me, ourselves, always questing for that next edge. And suddenly, I'm ready to sell all my belongings and hit the road again, wherever it may be going. This was what I once wanted to do. And then I stumbled upon a sleeping homeless person in the city where I say there are none. They had an incredibly small blanket wrapped upon part of them in the morning of this 55-degree weather. Is this the universe telling me not to be a homeless person? All roads lead to dead ends until they lead to a garden. A bee sleeping on cosmos bigger than me, reminding me the weed I'm letting grow in my backyard terminates in flower, reminding me to sell all my earthly belongings and long for something more after life because we're all going to die anyways. From church to church, through a scary alley, reminding me why I wanted to get away from my old neighborhood. As I come back to the right side of the tracks, I feel better about the past 2 months of my life decision. Drowning. And sometimes it feels like I am drowning in my own thoughts, the swirling weight of words pulling me down, asking me to join their world. I feel their allure running over my eyelids, invading my space, my head, until I'm underwater with them, breathing in their world. Now I've merged with them. We are the abyss. Home speaks of country pastures, stopping the hot hit of pavement, running for the wild wind world, returning into the sky. Gaslit memoirs. The rain changes everything. Fast flashes, flames his lashes, fierce entry into the abyss. Hold love's leaves like a moist kiss. Shades of blue filter and encrust over the summer sun, creating a shell of winter wonderland. Recover and uncovered. Tenacity, tin gnat city. Tin gnats walk into a city. An image of an almost invisible tattoo. Fine art, ribboned in white. We're subtle, we're lined. We're love's leaves and vines. Solstice summer. Come and fall around autumn, dear. Abandoned city blocks in front of vast landscapes. Lost mansions and fractions. Seriously serious love. With onset eyelashes, clashes, time paced and backflashes. Last rays of hot summer heat. Summer's almost always over. The static rays below through, power in their insides, On the surface of sun, the leaves begin to fall again. Heat waves and ray guns blast from the past. Sometime in the winter, I will remember the sun. Nerves. I am just a person who is scared to speak in front of a crowd and gets nervous easily. I still carry with me this sense of unworthiness that stems from my childhood, like I didn't deserve to take up space then, and I still don't. Confined to the corner of the room, feeling like no one would want to hear what I have to say. Why don't I just go back home and hide? I'm going to start censoring myself because I know that some platforms don't like it when I say other words, but just know that in the full book and on Spotify and everywhere that I have these released, all the words are there. I'm not censoring myself. I'm a blank being living in a repressed monogamous culture and trying to say I love you without making your husband jealous or you uncomfortable. I've always been afraid to speak up, and I'm still trying to figure out how to. I want to speak my truth, but I don't want to offend you. I'm a people pleaser, and the one who mostly ends up not pleased by my lack of actions is me. I want to sing, but I haven't figured out how to overcome the stage fright without my choral family, who've all graduated to different things. I feel brave when I get to hide behind a computer screen, but scared anyone will find out or call me out when I'm seen in public. But at the end of it all, I'm just a vulnerable person, scared of other people, because all I want to do is love and be loved, beloved. I want to get Anne blank. Punk song, 5/11/22. If you can guess what this is about based on that date. And also, if you just start typing it, I did actually make this into a punk song, so. I'm just gonna sing it. Here it comes. It's getting sung. Don't let this love appeal come through. If you ever want me back on top of you, Roe versus Wade has been my right since birth. Don't make me go back to golden days. I wanna get an abortion. I wanna get an abortion. Don't tell me to think about it all, maybe next time, 'cause I wanna get an abortion more than you. I'll forget you. Guess we better learn to lick it like a lesbian, because there's not a out there that I'd wanna screw. Blank you and blank you and blank you too. Get your hands up off of my reproductive system. Oh, you. Oh, blank you. Oh, blank you. Oh, blank you. Roe versus Wade, 6/26/22. Today I'm bleeding, mourning the loss of a woman's right over her own body. I've been protesting with my consent. No hetero-blinksual blinks till I see progress. But how long will my male partner tolerate this? I can't take the risk that next month I won't be bleeding and have no options of what to do. Sit. Still living in the world where I was brought up. I was told that women have to keep their legs together to not be considered a blank. Why, thank you very much. I'll sit spread eagle. The way you pose your body is an invitation for blank, or abuse, or rape. Those short shorts of the 70s, but I could never wrap a midriff around myself to be seen in public. Behind the screen, undress me, pretend to touch me. I'll dress up in lingerie, but in life, I'll sit astride, astray, far away, to not be gotten, teased, and a tomboy. Cleansed and cuddled, letting go and going, running wild, feeling cleansed and cuddled after conversations, being out of my head and finally into another's. Current culture of ruining blank, disgust at society and culture, escapisms, culture, learned beliefs, attitudes and ideals, family structure, food, religion, not taking shoes off, norms, society, people of the culture, self imposed guidelines, better than society's. My, my blank is a blank. Sudden fear and incapability of want, of heteroblankual blanks. My blank has turned into a blank. Too many blanks coming around, flaunting themselves on the internet, wishing me, worshipping me, when all I want is a smile and a friendly hug. But they turn and see my pubic hair as it wildly creeps out of my bathing suit bottoms. When I try to dress appropriately, according to community guidelines and standards, my normal body hair escapes any bounds put upon it by clothing and embarks into the world saying, free the blank, free the body hair shaming, free bodies looked upon with hate. Love yourself, love everyone, love what society has ordained, the abnormal or ugly. Reframe the world the way you look at yourself. Choose love, choose to be yourself. Don't let public humiliation, shaming tactics work on you. View your naked body in its innocence and holiness. Blanks. Is it disgusting or is it beautiful? How an image of a woman's blanks become idolized. Is it a reflection of blank in the media, or does it reflect the human need to be nurtured? That we are all malnourished, that we reflect aggression into physical attraction. The truth we are looking for is in deblankualizing the body, becoming lovers in a non traditional way, sharing ourselves with love and nourishment as the intention in our constant consumer society. He only loves me for my boop. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Are you still on?
Yeah, I was just taking a break.
Okay, I'm
But-
good for sure. I just had to get
Okay. National neutrality, giving us tools to describe what enrages us, opening our mind to see that things are not as beautiful as they seem. Nonsense, emptiness, reaching out to society, they're just a click away. I feel like I used to, like no one understands me, like I've gone too deep into humanity's flesh and saw how boring they are, how content. Colors of national neutrality, tan, brown, rustic orange, and breathing, beating, blinking. I feel like we're getting ready to get into the poem that's like the number one topic I write about. I'm not really sure why, but all poems seem to have this topic in them. The title is Raw Wooden Floorboards. I'm always writing about wooden floors and floorboards. I don't really know why, but that's what we do here. We talk about wooden floors and their boards. There's some now. Feeling the swirling energy rising within you, infusing words from the past poetry, as I find a gray corner on the floor, dimly lit, somewhere to sit. The words come back to me, pouring as they once went. I'm coming home from Cleveland, but I wish I could stay there. I found a new family, and it's a cause is what unites us there. Creation, dedication around a certain topic, uniting all and unifying everybody's bodies. Being blank and free, it's all the same to me. Reach out, speak out, step out. Don't be afraid. Be your truest self and share who you are. Find your people, they are out there. Even if the internet is the common thread that unites, find them, join them, and know that you will reunite in the future. Different groups, different forms, mental stimulation, all united in one universal consciousness. I'm always looking for myself in you, and I see me shining through. Airplane. Earlier, the dark ground shrank away, frightened with the city lights from overnight. Too early to wake up, but a subtle glow of a sunrise hinted at the edges. We had mounted the clouds and they looked like an ocean. Beneath us, on our way to Chicago, they had turned an Earl blue cast that reminded me of water. I caught a twinkle of light between the waves, and underwater, a city lives in this country. Then, in the distance, battleships awaited, lining the horizon as the waves gave way to a smoother pool. The blue had begun its ascent to translucent, and I could see the plates of earth beneath it. Underwater provinces dotted the landscape, divided by water, with the occasional lighted town. The sun had chosen to wake up on the other side of the ship. I could see the yellow glow of the sunrise through the small circular window. Pros and cons of tiny planes, with one seat in the first row. And then it hit me. The first rays of sun. They blasted over the runway bridges and through the glass, startling me like the touch of unknown fingers. The constant glow was cut by shadows of passerbys at this early angle. Behind the airport tower, the sun had struggled with black clouds, pushing them to pink. Married to the Indiana armpit staleness, settled, finally, after years of changing and roving it all so quickly, stopped, and I've become a good, stable person who I hate. The different things we will do in a day. 22 locations, and it's all the same place. 3 cities, 3 nights, stargazing, wild and bright. Change in life size and wild size. Running rampant ballerina, stops to eat cheesy potatoes and sausage, runs, dive rolls into the next room, shuts the door, and flees, streaking into the wilderness abode. Sees stripes of pineapple, flows with hot jalapenos, stays, writhes, wakes up from the middle of the night, wide-eyed, bright, bleary from the car ride. Sugar pie, starlight, stay with me tonight. Is that all right? Waverly hands and rising tide sweep into the night. Converse to traverse the terrain, wide running stretches and flopping breaks to catch breaths. Funny how you find the places you find remind you of grandfather's home inside. Rolling down hills on barrel vaults, seeks the reason why we woke up and played until dawn, burst to illuminate the day. Tides. I am a canvas. Some say that isn't a beautiful thing. To give yourself to art. I have no arguments to people with different views. The vast difference between worlds that can't begin with my starting point, but only see them wishing to see anew. I'll let it fly, ghosts on my side, and ride the waves, turning dust into paper, into aeroplanes. My life is a delicate cycle, not stuck on empty. Ebbs and flows, flush and desert, peaks and troughs, but don't mind me as I write out the middles. Adulting. 6 a.m. I was dreaming. It felt so real. I thought I would wake up in mom and dad's house, in my bed I used to own. Now all is forgotten and nearly abandoned by me. I was lying in her floor, who now no longer is that because she's married with 3 kids. The dream was she and I were together and had gone off to be famous artists together. But we are still here. And as I woke, I remember nearly that I am. I have the notoriety, but maybe not for what I wanted it for. But what if I could have it and share it with her? She also was a reminder of Tuesday. And then I remembered how they both were etched into my body in tattoos. Erica nearly drew mine, or at least the inspiration. The water is pounding down. The gutters are overflowing. It's my responsibility to fix them. I'm a full-time homeowner now who hasn't touched her art or a woman in ages. I'm left lonely and parallel as I wake up so slowly and realize I'm in bed with a man. And somewhere, 40 minutes or more away, so is she. And even farther, so is Tuesday. Now when I wake up, my hands are numb, and I talk to Kelly of how we aren't teenagers anymore. She says I still capture some of my running youth, but we know that isn't real anymore. I've got miles to go and emails to keep. Dreams can make you a different person, or at least want to be. But what are dreams for, if not for change and vision? Even if vision is reaching back past. I hadn't remembered I had a crush on her. Or maybe I hadn't then. Or maybe I was too scared to even know it then. Or maybe I had a crush on everyone. But I know I never asked, for fear of being rejected and labeled the weird girl who liked girls. Being gay wasn't too cool when I was in school. And now the gutters are overflowing, and I'm left feeling lonely. Dreamland. Endless streaming golden light. Sunset eternal, never black and white. Ceaseless walks, never once talks. Shine on the back of a girl who never turns, simply walks. She knows her father as a man who never spray painted graffiti, but to cover up a vulgar man's. Mornings, flush with a full house blush, as she flies with the grace of a scouring rush, pulling me out of my dreams by the strings. She woke slowly, early, on her own terms, with yearning, aching in her torso, longing for her lover's touch. Morning broke, heavy with dew, as I lay beside you. She stirred and whispered, I love you, the first thing she'd wake up to. Ripe fruit. I have a freshness in my life today that I can't quite understand. There's an aching in my body, there's a searching in my brain. Life has been shaking up and taking up the way I rearrange. I'm to a point where the slate is clean, my brain washed to a crisp, white ironed tee. It has reached a steadiness, a sullenness that sinks and stinks through all the decades, a tassel turned fruit that ripens at this age. The walking trail. As I stop and wonder, ponder, what dew remains, the outline of the moon blends wordlessly to the clouds. Stop and stare, wonder still what this earth has to fill. Wash the pail, do the dishes, and end up full to bursting. Then pour forth the reminiscent that we all hold so true, and wring forth the life inside of you. Take my hand, we'll promenade the beach together, tongue in cheek. Relationship with a tree. Mystic ideas and childhood wonder. Where did you go? Written between texts, no longer left, on my window sills. Be still, child, sugar, honey. Sweet things are made for moments in between. Lay quiet, I'll tell you a story. Welcome back, ensconced. I know you've missed it. Winter wonder. I walked into a cold room. On all three sides of me, I could see the snow falling through the floor-length window panes, the swirling, whirling, powerful whip of the blustery wind, and the frosty snowflakes caught up in him. All of this I experienced with a wide-eyed view, fresh as the first day. I looked to the stars. By the time you are reading this, and having written it, of course, it'll be too late. You'll have tired of the idea of running away, of wandering down long lanes of train tracks simply for the adventure of it. You'll think going to California isn't all it could cracked up to be. You'll think you have no chance of making it on your own. You'll think you'll have no chance of being an artist, a poet, a wanderer, or a wanderer. You'll have lost your virtue. Life will have lost most of its meaning and be replaced by a Friday night spent bed shopping being enthralled by a Lillian Vernon catalog, thinking what fun it is to sleep until 8:30 a.m., being content, no, excited, no, overjoyed by the idea of your homework being done. You will have lost contact with your spirit life. You may not believe in fairies. You may not believe in ghosts. Although, have you become one yourself? You may no longer have interests in much of anything, or indeed, life in general, because you've replaced your childlike wonder with grown-up-like answers. You'll no longer feel able to ask why, either because you already know the describe or because you lack the energy to investigate. By the time you've read this letter, you will already be gone. Untitled. Dear Jay, I've got your songs in my head, and I've got your time on my watch. Your words get stuck in my mouth. Our life is painted on the inside of my brain. You've got your ring on her finger, and I'm blinking somebody else. Love, Jay. And that's our little live stream for the day. Thanks for joining me. Got through a few sections of poems, and call it 22 poems, approximately, somewhere like that. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye.